monster looked like? It were dark.
It was huge. Its maw all blood-smeared. Bugger gutted Ungi with one claw. Near spliced him in two.
All right, gentlemen, cat's out of the bag then. GameSpot's Game of the Year 2015 is the wonderful Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Randy, what do you think?
I think this game is probably the most coherent world that I've been in many years. And that's why, for me, this is my personal Game of the Year as well. You know, it was a game that, you know, I didn't play the previous Witchers, and I was super impressed with how easily this game actually got me to care about the characters and teach me about the setting in a very, very quick way. So I was immediately engrossed in what was happening here. That made me curious about everything, that made me feel like I was part of something bigger, and just, you know, made me actually want to escape.
Go back to Mate Bilberry and apologize for being an ass. Quick, before I change my mind and break your bones.
An incredibly impressive open world in that it also sort of forced you to be humble, because unlike a lot of the games we've talked about on this top 5 that are open world and beyond in the top 25 games, so many of them are you are the hero and you go out and you are all powerful by the end of the game, or in some cases the start. Whereas this is a game in which, like, the stories in this game, like the quests you encounter, even when you left and made the decisions you think you're right, it's not always, you know, rosy by the time you walk away.
In this hole, this reesty mire, nothing could go right here.
Yeah, and so much of that is aided by really excellent writing, probably some of the best that I've seen in years. I mean, there's these convincing characters that you actually kind of learn about. You know, you have Ciri throughout the game, and I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't finished the game, but she becomes a pretty prominent character later on, despite the fact that you're just following her most of the game. And throughout the game, you're not just playing things for experience or gear, and you're not completing quests just for the progress.
Yeah.
You're doing it just to see what's going to happen around the next corner. Like, what's going on with this person? What do they want to know? And how can I help them? What moral choices are going to come out of this quest?
The quests were fun to explore for the quest's sake, just to find out what was going to happen.
Yeah, the journey itself was more interesting to me than the destination. I mean, I loved seeing how the choices I made materialize at the end and what kind of conclusions manifested from them, but really it was just really engrossing quests on the side, but also the main quest itself just kind of pushed you through really well for 90-something hours, however long I played, and I never got sick of it.
It's a beautiful looking world as well. Like, it looked fantastic on PC. Also held up really well on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And then the size of that world, Randy. Like, you end up spending 30 hours before you might even get to Novigrad, and then you see all those islands off the coast. They're also there. You can go explore those. I completed this game when I was 120 hours deep. It's big.
I made the rookie mistake of trying to clear all the little white exclamation marks in the opening area. That took me like 12 hours, not realizing that the game was going to expand even more. And when you got to that huge world, I just went, I'm just going to spend a lot of time on this game, I think. It's going to be something that's going to consume me for weeks. And it did. And it never felt like it actually dragged at all. And just to your point, Danny, some of my favorite moments in this game were actually the small ones. I mean, there's a lot of really epic things that happen in this game, but the ones that stick to me are the smaller quests and, some of the small personal moments that happen between Geralt and the whole cast of characters that he comes across. Yeah,
fantastic game. In a year full of fantastic games. It was hard picking the top 25. It was certainly difficult picking the top one. But there you have it. Our favorite game of 2015, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.